Good Monday Matters. I hope you had a wonderful Sabbath and are looking forward to a new week and all that God has in store for you. My name is Mike Courtney and this is Monday Matters. Every Monday I take a few minutes to talk about something to make your life happier, healthier, and perhaps a little bit holier. We had a wonderful service today. Our pastor, young pastor, did a great job preaching, and part of what he was talking about is focusing on the things that really matter, that are really important, and not getting caught up in the things that don't matter. Majoring on the majors and not majoring on the minors. And so it's just a brief part of his message, but it got me thinking about what really matters. What do we really believe? What do I really think? A few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, I just sat down, took my Bible, began to thumb through it, and said, I'm gonna write down the 10 or 12 things that I really believe. That these things are absolutes, and I have to start with this. Every other decision needs to be made in light of, well, this is true, so now what do I believe? So I went through, started with Genesis 1:1, and I jotted down about 12 things. I think I'm going to condense it to about 8, really. And so I'm going to actually try to condense part of that even as we are speaking, or I'm speaking, you're listening. But I want to do these 8 things, and then over the next couple of months, maybe the Monday Matters will be about these particular things. So here are the things. What do I believe about God? God doesn't change. This is not it yet. I'm not there yet. But God doesn't change. But we do, and our understanding, and our perspective, and maybe in fact even the way He reveals Himself to us changes. And so what I have to do as I'm trying to come to grips with my worldview, with the paradigm that I operate under, what I have to do is say, okay, based on the limited knowledge that I have, based on my finite understanding, what do I know to be true about God? And then everything else has to fit into that, rather than me deciding what I believe about the world around me and then making God fit into that. So I kind of start with this. Again, I'm not there yet, but I start with God is truth. He is the absolute truth. There's no truth apart from Him. His best, major, primary, final revelation to us of Himself was in His Son Jesus. And in fact, Hebrews says God introduced Himself in various ways through prophets and writers, but now in these final days, it's Jesus. So God is truth. The best picture of God we have is Jesus. And the best understanding we have of Jesus comes to us from Scripture. Now, there's a lot there. I don't understand. It has to be translated. I have to put it in context, all those things. But still, that's where I start. God's truth. God is truth. He reveals Himself in Jesus, and we find Jesus in Scripture. So with that in mind, I go to Scripture, do the best exegesis I can, do the best study I can, listen to podcasts, all of those things, and come back with, these are the things I believe to be true about God. So I'm going to share these with you, and then like I say, over the next few weeks, maybe we'll talk about them one by one. First one is this: God created everything. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. I start with that. God created everything. Good, bad, evil, not evil, ugly, pretty, beautiful, whatever. It all starts with God. God created everything. And then the second thing is very, very close to that, out of that general story. What He created with order. First day, second day, third day. Be fruitful and multiply. Name the animals. God is a God of order. And His desire is that His creation would not be chaotic. The reason He did the creation work, because the earth was formless and void. So God created everything. God is a God of order. Here's number 3. Again, I'm still in the creation story. God continues to interact with his creation. That he is not a watchmaker God who just wound it up and let it go, but he interacts. Number 4, in the midst of all of this, God has always had a plan of salvation. God created everything. He's a God of order. He interacts with his creation, but his purpose has always been to draw us to him. He's always had a plan of salvation. Now, a couple of other things before we jump into that plan of salvation. God is a God of righteousness, holiness, and faithfulness. He is a God of righteousness, holiness, and faithfulness. What we know about God is he is righteous, he is holy, and he is faithful. And I believe he expects his creation to be the same thing. His desire for us the same thing. And then the final one is this, and we kind of this look about God. God especially is interested in the marginalized part of creation. He has a heart, a passion for those people who are on the edges, for those things that are on the edges. So there's a few more that we're going to come back to and talk about. But I want to start with those 6 and over the next few weeks kind of talk about them just kind of one by one, how we live those out. For right now, let me just say again, whatever else I believe, whatever else I know, I'm struggling with why good or bad things happen to good people, why somebody doesn't get healed, why the wicked prosper. I'm struggling with those things, and I don't know. I've got to figure that out. But it all falls under these things. God created everything. He's a God of order, that he has a plan of salvation, that he continues to interact with his creation. He's holy, righteous, and trustworthy, wants us to be the same. And the marginalized, he is just as interested in, if not more interested in, than the primary part of his creation. So, as you go through the week, ask yourself, what do you know about God? What do you believe about God? Respond to this if you like. I'd love to hear a bunch of responses of what you know to be true about God. And we'll talk about these things over the days and weeks ahead. I will post something each day on Facebook and Instagram about this. If you would like, I'd appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, share, all of those things. And I look forward to talking to you next week. We'll pick that very first one, God created everything, and talk about how that shapes our worldview. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next week on Monday Matters.